Let me tell you what it feels like to watch 17 federal agents swarm a lakeside community center, FBI, DEA, EPA, even the FDA, all showing up for one woman in white linen, while the lady at the center of it all is clutching her healing retreat brochure, convinced she's untouchable. And the wildest part, she'd called 911 on me first, thinking she could have me thrown off my own land. Yeah, that happened. 3 weeks before that circus, I was just Caden Blackthorne 35, hoping to lay low after a mess of corporate whistleblowing settling into a rundown little lake house that came with more secrets than square footage. You ever have one of those mornings that's just too peaceful? Sun coming up over the lake, coffee steaming in your hand, birds doing their thing. Then a Tesla Model X crunches up your gravel drive and spits out a woman who looks like the spokesperson for organic toothpaste. She storms up, perfume like a health food aisle, turquoise jewelry jangling, and lets loose. Get off this land, like I'm trespassing on her personal enlightenment. Never even got out a good morning before she started dialing 911. And she had no idea, not a clue, that the feds had handed me this property after I helped bust a $2.8 billion fraud ring, or that her so-called healing retreat was already under federal investigation. Now, if you were in my shoes, just moved in, and the HOA queen pin threatens to call the cops on you for existing, would you fold or stand your ground? Because I just stood there, let her rant, and waited for her to lose her cool. That's something years of forensic accounting teaches you. The first person to get mad usually loses everything else, too. So I sipped my coffee and introduced myself real polite, which just made her angrier. Serafina Whitmore, president of the Mystic Lakes HOA and self-proclaimed wellness guru. She whipped out a glossy folder of retreat plans, yoga, on my dock meditation, circles on my lawn, some spa built right where my septic tank is, and told me, "You're trespassing on the future of holistic healing." I almost spit my coffee. She's waving a brochure. I've got the deed. But she's not interested in my fraudulent paperwork. She makes a dramatic show of calling 911, claims there's an armed aggressive trespasser, which was news to me, seeing as my hands never left my mug. But that's how these people play: create complaints, escalate, make you miserable until you cave. Only this time the target was a protected federal witness, and the HOA's days were numbered. 12 minutes later, Deputy Barnes rolls up. Young guy Ernest clearly still believes he can help people. Serafina rushes over, unloading the whole script: trespassing, sacred, community development, all that. Barnes, to his credit, actually reads my paper, sees right through her spa brochures, and tells her, "Ma'am, these are marketing materials. This gentleman owns the property." She sputters claims investors and deposits, but the deputy just lowers his voice and quietly warns me, "Something feels off here. Document everything." And then he leans into her. "If you keep harassing him, you'll be the one in trouble." The look on her face, pure stewing fury. But the drama was just getting started. After Barnes left, I'm standing on the dock lake, glittering like nothing bad could ever happen here, thinking, maybe I could finally breathe. But Serafina was right about one thing: this lake was special. Not for the healing minerals she claimed, but for the evidence stashed in boxes marked "Do Not Destroy," proof that Megacorp had been planning a development scam here with a wellness money laundering front. Her husband, Malcolm the doctor, had lost his license years ago for selling snake oil to the elderly. Now the feds wanted me to document their every move. My quiet new home was bait. That night there's a gentle knock, none of Serafina's bulldozer energy. It's Evelyn from 2 doors down, cardigan and casserole in hand, eyes darting like she's got secrets to spill. She leans close, tells me Serafina's dangerous, not with fists, with paperwork. 4 neighbors signed over their homes for miracle water and free treatments. She tells me about Harold, who lost his place for a promise of arthritis relief, and the Nuons bullied until they sold for half price just to get free. And the kicker, Serafina's husband signs medical statements. The HOA board's on her payroll. Anyone who fights gets buried in fake violations. Evelyn's voice shakes as she tells me about the blessed lake water. $89 a bottle sold online with testimonials from the same folks she's scaring into selling their land. Harold's kidneys started failing, but Serafina calls it toxins leaving the body. Elder abuse dressed up as wellness property theft behind a crystal. I call my federal handler Rivera, and she's all business. Wire fraud, medical fraud, elder abuse, document everything. Be careful. And I do. Every conversation, every violation, every threat recorded and backed up 3 ways. Day 2, 5:30 in the morning, jackhammers at the property line, emergency road maintenance by HOA order, 6 hours of noise, then 14. Violation notices the next day, too long grass, mailbox, wrong color, car parked, wrong even noise complaints against me. They add up $2, $400 in fines, all designed to squeeze me out. Day 4, heavy machinery shows up, bulldozer, ready to demolish my dock for a meditation platform. I warn the crew, touch my dock, you're committing felony destruction of property. They back off, and here comes Serafina, wild-eyed and desperate, hissing at the workers to remove obstacles to wellness. Then she spins on me, calls me a terrorist, accuses me of faking my deed, and straight up threatens to make my life unbearable within 48 hours. And that's when she screws up. Threatening a federal witness is a felony. I double down, install more cameras, back up every file, reach out to victims. Harold meets me in town, lays out receipts, or $15K for the treatments, want $8K a month after that, then $40K in repairs once he tried to back out. His doctor says the healing water is poisoning him. He even had a lab test at just lake water with fish tank minerals. And he recorded Serafina faking injuries to frame him too. Now you tell me, if someone tried to pin an assault charge on you, would you press charges right away or keep building your case? Because after Harold, I tracked down Maria Santos and the Nuance. Everyone had a story of threats, fake fines, or health ruined by the miracle water. And just when I think I've seen every trick, Serafina comes back with her husband Malcolm, a washed-up doctor in a suit that still smells of desperation, and a cameraman hired to film the hostile takeover of sacred grounds. They go full performance art, with Malcolm preaching about energy nexuses and quantum healing. I call him out for prescribing sugar pills. Serafina tries to shut me up, then in front of the camera, scratches her own face bloody and screams for help, faking an attack. Cops show up, footage gets reviewed, and the officer nearly laughs. She's arrested for filing a false report, but she bails out and throws a final Hail Mary, invites all her investors, 200 desperate folks from 5 states, to a grand summit promising exclusive access to paradise, all while trying to squeeze them for one last $5,000 investment. But before the summit, I find a hidden USB drive from the previous owner, Patricia Brennan, containing everything: threats, offshore accounts, videos of Serafina swinging a bat, and Malcolm waving fake psychiatric paperwork. I send it all to the feds. Now they've got wiretaps, asset lists, a nationwide network of scam retreats, and a plan. The summit is surreal, crystals everywhere, incense in the air, elderly folks with walkers and oxygen tanks, all hoping for miracles. Serafina in her robes, makeup covering the scratches, preaches about ancient wisdom and modern persecution. Malcolm peddles poison water, tells a man with failing kidneys to double the dose. I let it play out. Wait for my cue. Serafina puts my face on the screen, calls me an agent of evil, says I attacked her. But then the cameraman from before stands up and yells, "I have the video." She scratched herself. Security drags him out, but the crowd starts to question, whisper doubt. When Serafina demands another $10,000 for platinum memberships, I stand up, button, camera rolling. "What property situation? You don't own this land." She goes red, tries to kick me out. I pull out Harold's lab report offer to show everyone the real composition of the healing water. The room erupts, victims shouting, demanding refunds, accusing her and Malcolm of lies and theft. And that's when Serafina snaps. grabs the mic stand, swings at an investor screaming about betrayal and cosmic justice. The crowd panics, but I know what's coming. "They're already here," I shout. And right then the doors burst open, 17 agents in windbreakers and badges moving like clockwork. Serafina Whitmore, Malcolm Whitmore, you're under arrest. Wire fraud, elder abuse, tax evasion, assault, medical fraud, conspiracy, money laundering, you name it. She tries to scream it's a setup that I'm nobody, but the lead agent just smiles. Actually, he's the federal witness who took down Megacorp and you've been threatening him for weeks. The crowd stares. Jaws drop as phones come out and people search my name, see the news stories, realize the scam is over. The aftermath is something else. Millions seized from offshore accounts. Nationwide raids, victims finally getting some restitution, the community center reopened for real yoga and health classes, no more crystals, just exercise and good food. The cameraman's footage goes viral. Harold gets dialysis but lives to see justice. Patricia Brennan, her evidence makes her a quiet hero. And Serafina and Malcolm. They get over 20 years in federal prison, plenty of time to contemplate divine intention. So now every morning I stand on my dock and watch the lake sparkle, just water. No lies, no miracles, just the truth shining back. If you've ever seen a scam like this or had an HOA try to bully you, drop a comment. Let's talk justice, right and wrong, and how you'd handle it if someone tried to take your home with nothing but a brochure and a threat. Because in the end, the best way to fight lies is with truth, and sometimes if you're lucky with 17 federal agents waiting outside the door.